Alright guys, thanks for clicking on the video today. As you can see, we got a bunch of different broadheads here in front of us. I haven't killed a deer with every broadhead here in front of us, but I have with a few. I can go over those with you, the results, share a few of those hunts. I got a few of them on film. Some successful, some not successful. Some my fault, and yeah, we'll get into it here. Alright, well, before we get started here, if you could, please like, subscribe, and comment below what your broadhead is, and you know, why it is, and some success stories if you could. But yeah, first I'll explain the broadheads that I haven't killed a deer with, and some I'm going to try in the future. Alright, first one is this Slick Trick Standard, the 100. I have not killed a deer with this or anything, but it is very sharp right out of the box. This little ring slides on, and you just slide these in and out. And then this little ring kind of goes on to keep them together. And then you can get these replacement blades here. You can buy just packs of replacement blades, but yeah, I'm excited to try that. I don't know if or when I'm going to try it, but that's one I'm looking forward to trying. And the other one is I'm going to try this probably on turkeys. I did looked at some reviews, and the ferrule here is pretty thin. And I'd seen a review on it, and it bends pretty easily on the review. So I don't know if I would try that on deer. I feel like if you hit a shoulder, that would bend there pretty easily. Yeah, I can open one up here. Alright, I got one out of the box here, and it is very thin where the blades are. Let's see if I can't get that to focus. That's very thin metal, but I don't know. You see a lot of success stories with these. I've seen a lot of success stories, like reviews on them. But I seen a review where it bends easily too. So I mean, it all depends where you hit a deer, you know. I'll share a story about that, about a rage, here in a little bit. But yeah, you know, I'm sure it would work just fine if you hit it where you're supposed to. But that don't always happen, as everybody knows. So I think I'm gonna try that on turkey. I seen a review where it just split a turkey wide open. Looked like they killed him with a samurai sword. Alright, the next broadhead is it's like a dirt nap style broadhead. I think this is the off-brand. I've had this for a long time. I've never used it. But yeah, I don't think this is the dirt nap one, but I think it's the off-brand that's supposed to be like it. So I don't know if there's a difference there. But yeah, it's like the dirt nap style. I've never killed a deer with that. Comment below if you have. I know what was that, Chancey Walters from Whitetail Adrenaline. He uses dirt naps, and he's got a lot of success. So this is the 150 grain Woodsman. I have never shot a deer with this as well. Looking forward to trying this one day. Not sure when, but looking forward to that as well. Alright, and this one here is, I can't remember what kind of Zwicky it is, but this is a Zwicky right bevel. I think it's 170 grains. Yeah, you can see that it's a Zwicky. But they flew good. I shot them out of a longbow for a while. I never hunted with them. But yeah, they flew great. So I read a lot of great reviews about them. So I'm sure they would perform well. I liked them right here because they're thick right up here at the tip. Where I'll get into another one in a minute where it's a little thinner up there. But they actually kind of reinforce this tip right here. So I like that. That's pretty nice. But the rest of these 5 here I have shot deer with, so let's get into those here. All right, the first one here, this is it's made by Bear Paw. I think it's a German company. Ron LeClaire uses it from Michigan. I think he's passed away now, but he kind of invented like the short longbow, and kind of the shrew bows kind of took over the Ron LeClaire longbow. And but yeah, this is one of those Bear Paw, and I shot a deer with it. I hit it a little far back, kind of spined it, dropped it in his tracks, and but yeah, broadhead held up good. I got it right out of the spine, and there was no damage to the broadhead. This isn't the broadhead that I killed the deer with. This is a brand new one, but yeah, that broadhead held up great. It flew great. It was easy to tune. I shot it out of a compound, an old, I can't remember, it was a Matthews. I can't remember what kind of Matthews it was, but it was an old Matthews, and yeah, it flew great, tuned great, and yeah, just kind of shot a little far back, made a bad shot. That was my fault, but yeah, not the broadhead's fault. Performed great, killed that deer. And then these one here, they're Magnus. They're the same broadhead. This one just has a slot for the bleeders. I don't have the bleeders anymore. I've had these probably 20 years. But I've killed a few deer with these over the years, but actually 2 years ago I shot the biggest buck of my life on the ground with a longbow at 20 yards. Shot him right in the shoulder, and didn't get any penetration, and this thing just bent, just curled over. Yeah, I mean, I shot it slightly quarter in two. I took a bad shot. I shouldn't have taken the shot. I was shooting a 50-pound longbow, shooting a little over a 500 grain arrow. I had a 100 grain insert, 125 grain broadhead, so 225 up front. It was 20 yards or less, and yeah, I hit him right in the shoulder, and I'll show you that hunt now. I just shot the biggest buck of my life this morning on the ground with a longbow, about 20 yards, played out perfect, and I don't know, I think I just shot him right in the shoulder. I shot him at about 8:30 this morning, 8:15, waited till about 10:30 to even just go look for my arrow. Found my arrow, bent broadhead, not much penetration, um, and I bumped him. He was only, when I shot him, he ran out there about 75 yards and just flicked his tail for a while and just kind of looked back towards my way, didn't see me, and just walked off flicking his tail. And then 2.5 hours later, went to go look for my arrow, and he was only laying about 50 yards from where I last seen him, and he ran off. He looked fine, but I'm gonna give it a little bit more time and go look for some blood and go check out and see if I can find where he was bedded. So it's not looking good right now, but yeah, stay tuned. If I don't see nothing, this might be the end of the video. Pretty down right now. Alright, and this one here, this one's just a no-name broadhead. I don't even know where I got it. But I shot a doe with it probably, I don't know, 4 years ago. And this thing gets stupid sharp. It gets razor sharp. But the thing is, you got to be careful with these because they're not always straight. You gotta kind of spin them and loosen these screws and set them yourself and straighten them out. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, I'm not sure about the durability. They look very thin. So I don't know if I would ever use this again. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. But yeah, I mean, that doe didn't go very far at all. But blood was everywhere. I mean, it worked great, but I hit her good. But if I hit her bad, I don't think this broadhead would hold up at all. I would honestly never use this again. Yes. Yes. Public land doe down. Hopefully, fingers crossed. From the ground. Again. Doing it again. Getting it done Cherokee style, baby. Taking it to the meat locker in the morning. And then this one here is just a rage. Everybody knows this. This is an old rage. I don't even remember what one this is. This is probably considered junk now. Rage has probably come out with 3 different ones since this. But yeah, I got these, and man, I thought these were the bee's knees. I shot a buck with this. He went probably 45 yards, and blood was everywhere. I didn't get a total pass through, but the arrow went. It was sticking out the other side, and then as the buck was running, it pulled it out, and yeah, I didn't know it was a buck when I shot it. It only had one antler. I was hunting in some tall grass. It had its head down coming, and it looked up one time, and when I looked, I didn't see an antler, and so I shot, and you can even see in the video, the full video. If you watch my full video on YouTube, I thought I was even talking. I thought I shot a doe. Was all excited. Called the wife. Had the son come out and blood trail it. Then we got up to it. Ended up being a little buck, and I wasn't upset because it was my son's first blood trail. He was there. You know, it was exciting. It was the most memorable hunt I've ever had for that reason. But yeah, it was November 7th, and I just had a big one on camera, and you can see that in the full video if you want. But I'll show you that hunt right now. Put that easy V right there, baby. Boom. Here's where I shoot a rage. I just bought these rages, and look at that entrance hole. Wow, he probably didn't go 45 yards, maybe at the most. But yeah, the reason I don't use these broadheads anymore is right after I shot that buck, I was going to fill my doe tag, and I had a doe at about 20-25 yards. And I shot her a little bit in the shoulder. And I didn't get any penetration, and this broadhead right here just straight bent. And after that, I was like, oh man, I'm never using a mechanical broadhead again. But since then, I've changed my mind a little bit about mechanicals. But yeah, I haven't used this since, but I'll show you that hunt as well. All right, well, I just zeroed a doe here, about 20, 25 yards. Maybe under about an hour and a half. We're just gonna go check the blood, see what it looks like. Stay tuned. Well, here's the arrow. We just found that she kicked loose. Didn't get a whole lot of penetration, so we might wait. I'm just gonna follow it just for a second, see what it looks like. Well, as we were tracking that doe I shot, we ended up bumping the two does that came running in when it happened, and yeah, she took off. So we're gonna give it more time and then go see what we can find. All right, and last but not least, this little guy right here, and this is just a no-name broadhead. But this has been one of my favorite broadheads over the last couple years. It's easy to tune. You can't even tell it's there hardly. It's so easy to sharpen. It's razor sharp. It just flies like a dart. I shot a doe with it 2 years ago, and she didn't go probably 75 yards and just toppled over. But yeah, these things, I love to shoot them out of my trad bows. They just fly like a dart. They're 100 grains, so I got to use a heavier insert, but man, these things fly. They just tune so easy. I bought about 100 of them. Here, I got like 3 or 4 of these cases just full of them because I didn't know if I'd ever find them again when I found them, and I always wanted to have them, so I always shoot them out of my trad bow. I shoot them out of my compound bear bow. But when I'm shooting my compound with sights, I shoot the slick tricks. But yeah, that's kind of my favorite one right now. These ones and the slick tricks are what I'm using. All right, guys. Well, obviously I don't have every option out there, and obviously I don't have the latest and greatest, But I think the most important thing to remember is shot placement. You got people every year killing deer with stone points and wooden arrows and self bows. So I don't think the broadhead matters as much as practice, tuning your bow, and accuracy. Because as you can see, I shot a deer with one broadhead, went 45 yards, shot a deer with that same broadhead, and it lived. It's just shot placement and accuracy, and practice, practice, practice. Tune your bow. I don't think the broadhead matters as much as everybody thinks. Obviously, some perform way better than others. Do your due diligence, do your research, practice, practice, practice. That's the most important thing. Yeah, like, subscribe, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the woods.